We're here with Lynn and Jonathan Terry, the developers of Virginia. Well, two developers, a sound designer. Well, you count as a developer, I suppose. And I haven't played the game yet, obviously. Not a re-record. So explain the game to me like I haven't played it. I haven't played it. Explain the game to me.
Sure. So Virginia is it's an interactive story. You play as a graduate FBI agent, kind of in a Clarice Starling, Scully in the X-Files kind of mold, and you are working on your first case, which is investigating the disappearance of a missing boy. And from there, things start to take a slightly strange turn, and that's kind of the premise of it. Strange goings on in Virginia. Yes.
I haven't played it yet, obviously, so we don't know what it looks like. Well, I do, because I played it. It's fine. So what inspired you to make the game, first of all, and then what inspired the art style, especially?
As far as the art style is concerned, it was keeping it this simple and low poly was actually about kind of born out of necessity to create a lot of art assets as quickly as we could. But we kind of grew to like it, and I think we're probably going to stick with that style, because keeping the world simple to a degree and not too fussy with lots of details has kind of helped people navigate their way through it, and just helps people kind of see the kind of important aspects of the world that help propel them through the story. So yeah, it's kind of low poly. It's inspired by inspired by games like Gravity Bone and 30 Flights of Loving to some degree. But the art style, yeah, is kind of just something that happened based on our needs to make assets as quickly as we could.
Well, that's a fair enough reason, I suppose. That's a good reason. It looks good. So why bother making anything? If it works fine. And back said, what inspired you to make the? I know the X-Files was obviously a big influence, but what made you? What made you be one day? I want to make a game like this.
Oh, that's a good question. We did actually, so we started working together, me and Terry, back in January. And we initially started out planning to make something far more ambitious that was way beyond our technical ability, or, I don't know, it would have been mad. And so around March, we sort of took stock, and we both really enjoyed games like Gone Home, I guess, and like Terry said, 30 Flights of Loving. And Kentucky Route Zero, storytelling in games felt really important to us, and obviously, we're both really into the X-Files. I think our friendship kind of formed out of our mutual love of the X-Files. And so I think we just must have had a conversation with us saying, well, why don't we make an X-Files inspired game that is very heavily about storytelling? Terry's an animator. I don't really know how to program that well. So we kind of ended up with Virginia almost sort of our practical necessity, really.
It's interesting because the first game I ever played in my entire life was an X-Files point-and-click game.
Oh, really?
So this is within my heart. Yeah. And since you're here today, might as well. What inspired the sound of the game? What was the?
So I do the sound and the music, and the music is very heavily inspired by 90s television. I really like the aesthetic of the synthesizers they had, and I think actually it lends itself really well to video games because the art style is so stylized. I kind of wanted to go in a direction which was less completely realistic music, but something that was synthetic as much as the art style is quite synthetic, and so those were the two elements that I wanted to get in there, and so yeah, that's where
it works very well. It's simple, and the art style's simple, and the music's beautiful, and it's all just flows well together. I know it is more of a tech demo at the moment, isn't it? Yeah.
I think it's fair to say, like a proof of concept, like how it looks. But this is the world that we want the story to take place in, the characters that are involved. Like it's definitely. It's what the feel of the game should be. Yeah, very much so.
Moving forward, what do you want to do with this then?
I guess we want to finish the story. So we'd ideally like it to be more kind of movie length and to tell a complete story. So when you finish it, you get a sense of closure and that you understand what went on to some extent. So that's really what we want to do next. So it lasts at the moment it's about 10 to 15 minutes, and expanding it out to maybe 90 minutes, something like that would be ideal if we could achieve that. Yeah.
And what are all your backgrounds? How did you all get involved in this? I mean, are you?
We worked together previously at another video game company making a free-to-play game that we left after they asked us to, and then I think when we were working together, we realised we had very similar tastes in games, like the things that we mentioned already, like Gone Home and such. We had long conversations about them, and we were really envious of people who were making indie games, and that they had the kind of creative freedom that having worked in the industry for a number of years before that, we'd never really had, because it's a far more commercial enterprise. So having the opportunity after we were let go to go and make something that was a personal expression of our interest, it just seemed like we just had to go ahead and do that.
And what got you involved with the project then?
So I graduated from a film school in January, and just good timing meant that I was on an indie gaming website where there was an ad that both JB and Terry put up, and I responded to it, and that's how we started working together.
It's a good way to start. It's how I bloody started working for Dan, really, isn't it? I started doing stuff, and it was like, ugh. So it's good. I mean, from what I've seen, because I haven't played it, what I've seen of the game, it looks pretty brilliant so far, and I'm really excited to see how you expand on the idea. And moving forward, what's your plan? I know what you want to do with it, but do you have like a release goal kind of time period, or what do you want to do with that?
So yeah, I mean, I guess it's mostly like how long we want it to be, kind of, and how long it's taken us to get to where we are now. I think we figure, like we sort of say to people, we figure it probably might be out next year, but it's probably looking more likely to be, say, 2016, something like that, before we get it finished. So I think that's probably the realistic time scale for when it'll be done. 2016, I think.
Awesome. Is there anything else you would like to say about the game before we finish?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think hopefully people get to play it, and the game will say enough for it, speak for itself.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks so much for taking the time to be in an interview. And yeah, the link to the website is in the description. And oh, cameraman, you're gonna love this. I want you to click. You see over there. You see that guy all the way over there. You have to zoom right in, cameraman. Zoom in. That guy. There he is. That's the left. Him. Click on him for more EGX coverage.